Good question, Pumlani. Aren't you tired of us? Can't you tired seeing us every day in football, playing every 2-3 days? Aren't you guys tired of us?
Why should we be tired of you?
I mean, we were just here yesterday. No, man. We should go for a break. We should go for holidays. I just passed the riverside, the park. People are braying and people are at the beach. Can we also go?
People want you to entertain them now.
Greetings, Masandawana. We are back with an installment of the Yellow Corner, and this time we bring you our Game Week 13 fixture as we host the Moroka Swallows on Wednesday night at 7:30 at Loftus Midfield. Raps, how are you?
I'm not a
I am not okay, man. I hope it doesn't show, but I'm wearing a long straight top because it's cold, it's raining and it's cold here, and I didn't take any of my warm clothes, so yeah, I'm feeling a bit cold and I didn't sleep properly, guys. I share a bedroom with someone who snores, so I couldn't sleep, so I am tired. And yeah, we're shooting this preview at 9 a.m. on Monday morning on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas once again to everyone. And so everyone is probably at church now, but we're very busy with, well, I guess it's our own service, Leona. Eh? Yeah, Raps. Is it a big game?
I don't think so. I don't think it is a big game because of you look at the gap between us and Swallows, and you look at how we have performed in all our games. So I think the gap between us and Swallows, I think, is too huge for the game to be called a big game.
Okay.
But because of they have our former coach and our former player who's AJ, I think one would say it will be a big game based on those two players, those two players and a coach as well. But according to now, I don't think it is a big game.
Okay. I don't have an opinion then, but yeah, we drew our last game against Cape Town City. We are left with two games. This one, Swallows as well as Polokwane, over the weekend. How important is it that we win the next two games to go into the break and 40 points? Because I think it's really important that we win these two games, and go to this AFCON break with in good spirits. I think if we were to drop points in the next two games, it will dampen the mood around the camp. Yes, there's a huge gap between us and everyone else, but that winning feeling is really important. We mustn't lose that winning feeling. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I think it is important for us to win this game. I think after the draw that we played against Cape Town City, I think we need to redeem ourselves and bounce back and get a maximum point. Because of if you drop a point 2 games in a row, I think for us is not good, because of you look at our last 11 games of this season, we have done very well. So I think the standard is high, and the player are on pressure to maintain that standard. But I think for us, I think it is a must win, so that when you go to that AFCON break, we know that the gap between us and the team that is on number 2 is very huge.
Yeah, no, true, man. True. Swallows, man, they have, in their last 5, they haven't had any wins. They have drawn 2 of their games and then lost 3. There have been issues, well documented even, with regards to the salaries that the players are not being paid or not being paid on time. Do you think the form that they've carried in the last 5 games is down to the salary issues?
I think it might be down to the salary issues, because of obviously if you don't pay players well and you don't pay them on time, it will affect them on the pitch. And also players have that mentality of, hey, let's manipulate the results or it.
Manipulate is a very dangerous word to use, because now it's like you're saying, hey, they giving away points. I don't think manipulate is the right way to use.
I've played football in lower level. I know what happens in football. So, but I get your point. But for now, I believe that them not being paid, I think it affects them in terms of results, because of once players are not happy, you will see that on the pitch. Hence, they've struggled in their last 5 games.
I fully agree with you, man. And we're talking about adults here. We're talking about family men. We're talking about guys that some of them are the only breadwinners in their families. And if you don't get paid, you won't be in the right frame of mind. You're stressing about a lot of things, man. Like I said, some giddy breadwinners, they're carrying the whole family on their backs. So you're thinking, okay, what are my siblings? What are my parents? What are my cousins going to eat? You know, there's the dads, there's the debit orders. You know, there's rent to be paid. So yeah, I mean, I think that has played a huge role.
And also, you look at the players that Swallows have. Those are players that come from big teams, and they are used to every month. I know I'm going to get my money. Look at AG comes from Sundowns, Zuma was at Amazulu and Chiefs. Mango was at Pirates level Amazulu. So those are players that are used to month end. Unlike you take a player from ABC, we know that even if player Renosa Mupatal for 17 months, as much as Atokwata, but he's not used to getting chele at the Manfield. So I think them at that professional level, AJ, Mango, those are big players coming from big teams. So I think they need to sort out their issues, man.
They have one player who's been performing really well. One player that me and you like. Every time we've played against him, we always rave about him. I think he's a natural born goal scorer. You know, it comes too easy into a goal. He can smell a goal. I'm talking about Etsehoma Basane. Are they way too reliant on Seho because he scored 50% of their league goals? And I think they are too reliant. I think the next guy, Kim Hango, got 2 league goals, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're too reliant. And we saw when Swallows played Pirates when he was not available because he's on loan from Pirates. Finally, how certain teams are now doing things that they were saying, they were complaining about Sundowns doing, but
Goodman must have taught them a lesson.
Yeah. So I think they struggled in that game in creating the chances, you know, and when they did, they couldn't finish. So they are maybe too reliant on Sehwe.
Yeah, no, but I think as a team, it is important to have that goal scorer. But as much as you have that goal scorer, you need to have a plan B if that player is absent or is injured. So I think Swallows, I think they have a right player in Tsohfat's Mabas, but they need that plan B if Tsohfat is not available or the goals are not coming in. Because of, I think they have Kakso Malingo is quite good, but he needs to contribute and help the team in terms of getting goals, because of they can't rely on Tsohfat's Mabas because of you don't know what will happen in the second round of the season. So I think that they have a good player, but they need a plan B if he's not available or if the performance is start out drop.
Yeah, so Kagiso is a very good player, man. He's a good player, that guy. It's just that the work rate is there. He's there to help the team. It's just that statistics, the eye test or I pass in Chomofulang, give him to statistics. This team, Raps, we spoke about them a bit when we previewed Game Mazulu. We spoke about how they modeled Game Bona in the build-up phase. They modeled it around Ronane, but they do so minus the composure. I don't think they have composure now in build-up phase where you take a lot of risks and you're in danger of losing the ball very high and being punished. You know, do you think in this match, because of how we've seen them lose possession in dangerous zones in the build-up phase, do you think they will risk? They will continue building from the back and trying to model how we do things, because they will be doing it against the masters of building from the back.
I think they will try to mix around. I think the moments will control how they build up at the back. I think once they sense that pressure from Mamelodi Sundowns, I think they will start playing that long ball. But if Sundowns doesn't press aggressively, I think they'll try and build up from the back. But now, my question is that as much as we want to see good football, and I think Swallows are slowly getting there, but you look at Steve, he joined in the beginning of the season, new players, new team. I think if I were Steve, I will concentrate on getting results this season. It's all about results. Then once players are get used to results and being in a good position, the next season I think that's where was the best to introduce the kind of the type of football that they play, because of you need to know players individually, you need to know their profile, you need to assess them. So I think like he didn't have quite a lot of time to do that. Hence you see different mistakes because of the players that he has. They come from different teams, like the guy Man Phillips, who comes from Supersport. Supersport plays a total different football, so him having to adjust to the type of football that Steve plays, like it will take him a lot of games to get used to that type of football. So I think that style of football was introduced too early for me, but I think as time goes on, Steve will get it right, man.
And I've got nothing bad to say about Steve, man. You know, like I really like Steve Kompela. Steve is genuinely a nice person, man. You know, and I wish him all the best. And so I really need Steve to succeed at Swallows. You know, when they lost a game a few weeks ago, it was a Friday game, I think. Give me one up Pirates and Friday or Wednesday, but yeah, I think it was Game Me Pirates. Someone close to me sent me a text, you know, why Steve atola di team tse mo tshwarang so ka di player salaries Swallows Celtics, you know, and yeah, man, we spoke to that guy and we concluded or something like the Bible says, or Modimo dintho tse thata o di fa his strongest people, and that's Steve Kompela for you. That's a battle that God knows Steve Kompela can win. So I really wish Steve all the best of luck, man, at Swallows. I don't think they will. I think that whether they build up and take those risks will be dependent on what Sundowns does around Andy Lejali. I think Andy Lejali is a very key component in their build-up phase. He's the one who receives turns and then maybe progresses the ball either by progressing into middle field with it or playing, spreading it, you know. So if Sundowns shut down AJ, I think it will be really, really tough for Swallows to do anything. So that will be determined by what Sundowns does around AJ. Then we'll most probably win the ball up high if they do take the risk. What do we need to do once we win the ball that high up? I think there needs to be precision in what we do once we win the ball. I think you need level-headed players in that position, but at the same time, quick thinking, you know, and do not give Swallows a chance or time to get back into good positions where they can defend the ball. So I think precision will be really key once we win the ball up high. What do you think, Gwena, from your side?
Yeah, and I think we know how they play, and if they are arrogant enough and they try to do that against Sundowns, they know that we'll punish them. So I think we need to have that high number of players high up on the pitch where we know that once we win the ball back, the gap between where we got the ball and the goal post is a little bit smaller, so that you know you need only one pass or two pass to hit the target. So I think for us it will be very, very important to high press them, but also we need to be cautious because of we know that once they bypass that high press from us, that means we'll be forced to defend facing our own goals. So it will be difficult for us to win the position back because of they will play with a high intensity to try to get to our box and maybe get a shot on target.
Rabs, apart from Mabasa, where will Swallows danger come from? How can they pose any danger to Sundowns? Because from my side, I don't think Zuma Lepache gives Swallows anything, man. I think I don't know, say people are done, but they do not give. So, Pacheka, his last season at Skukuni, he had the most assists in that team. This season he's not doing anything at Swallows, man. He doesn't offer them anything, you know. So I think, sadly for them, their second best chances of getting goals will come from Gaba's free kicks, Mahango's free kicks. He scored a brilliant one against Supersport. He hit the upright against Chiefs. So if Sundowns were to commit the free kicks in and around that 18 area, that's where they most likely pose a danger. Eh?
I think for me, it might come from their fullbacks. I think Bongani Sam and Phillips. I think it will depend how far they overlap. I believe if they can cross that a center and get to our own half, I believe they will target the space behind our fullbacks, which is Mashego and Mudau or Tapelo. So I believe the danger might come from their fullbacks because of Ntakuma Kumela. I don't think he will start. So I would fancy him if he was going to start.
He started their last game against Royal EM. He hadn't started a few games before, so he maybe he might just start. Maybe Steve has realized the two that I mentioned don't offer the team anything, man. What are some of their weaknesses that you've seen that Sundowns can exploit, and how can Sundowns exploit those weaknesses?
I think the obviously the major one is building up from the back. I think you need to be brave enough and you need to be fearless. If you receive the ball and you are already in fear, you're going to lose the ball because of sometimes fear will control you to do certain things. But if you are fearless, you'll show bravery and escape that press. And also, I think there are gap between the midfield line and the defensive line. I think it is too huge. And against Supersport, they struggle, and against Orlando Pirates. Hence, Vincent Pulu managed to get behind the midfield and he played that pass to Evidence Mahopa. So I believe their weakness comes from that defensive line and the midfield line. And I believe Andile Jali and Palan, as much as they are good footballers, but defensively, I don't think they are helping the team enough. I don't think they have the legs to cover a lot of space to offer support in attack and also in defense, because of they have fullbacks that overlaps very frequently. So they need players that will cover for them and players that will help in terms of defensive organizations.
Yeah, no, I think one of the weaknesses is that their strikers don't help in defending. They don't. Solos doesn't defend from the top, unlike Sundowns. You know, so Sundowns will be able to build up with great ease and quicker, progressing the ball quicker into the next phase. You spoke about the huge gap between midfield defense. There's also a huge gap between the forward line, their forward line, as well as their midfield line. So maybe someone like Zwane can get in between those lines, you know, and drag one of the defenders or central midfielders in Palane Lee or AJ and leave room behind them, and some of our players can exploit that space that you spoke about, the gap between ball. They constantly change the midfield. Yabona, the two central midfielders, the two central defenders. It's either Palane le Jali who play, or Mtetwa le Mjali at times, you know. And then versus Bia plays quite a lot of the games but it's either Allen or versus a brother, and I think it affects them in their build-up phase, because you need a relationship. You need to get used to the people that you'll be taking risks with in and around that area. So I think if they change their midfield again, Sundowns can use that to our advantage in terms of putting pressure, high pressure on them, and we're able to win the ball as high up as possible, and we take care of take advantage of those chances. Anything else you want to add in terms of Sundowns?
I think because of Swallows against SuperSport, they played with two center forwards, which was Malinga and Mabas. If they are going to press high with those two center forwards, I believe whoever is going to play as a 6 needs to drop a little bit closer to our center back so that he gives us option and numbers when we have to build up. Because of if those two center forwards man mark our two center backs, it will be difficult for us to build up from the back. So hence it will be important for whoever is going to play that number 6 position to drop a little bit closer to the center backs, or maybe get in between them and our center back. They stretch wide so that we are able to stretch and find gaps in the middle field. And also, like sometimes SuperSport, when they get Swallows, when they get attacked through the middle, their center backs are too focused on the ball and they ignore the person that is going to make a run. That run that was made by
you actually right. I forgot that point. They ball watch a lot, Swallows, and they lose track of the guys who do not have the ball. That's a great point.
So you look at the goal that they've considered
SuperSport
against SuperSport and also against Orlando Pirates. If the center backs were watching the ball and also were watching the players who are making runs, I believe they would stop that ball, those goals from going in. So in this game, I think the body language and the positioning, of Shalulil will be important once we progress towards the final third. Like he needs to check the line and also where he will make that run, because of those center backs of Swallows, they ignore that blind spot, and those players that scored against them came from their blind side. So I believe the runs that Shalulile will make, I think, will be very, very important for us. And also I believe because of they have a set piece guy, which is Mangu. I believe necessary fouls I don't think are needed. We just need to keep our shape and be organized, because of their big opportunity might come from a set piece, and he scored against SuperSport, and hit an upright against Kaizer Chiefs. So I believe we need to manage how we try to stop them from getting those goals, not commit ourselves very, very easily, because of, like I've said, their best chance might come from a set piece, and maybe they might score from that.
True, man. True. Let's get into lineups. How would you line up? Should I go first or you going first?
I'll have Williams as my goalkeeper. Then my right back, I'll have Mudau. 2 center backs, I'll keep Beruk and Kekana, and start Teres Mashoko as my left back. Then my 6, I'll have Bongani Zungu. Then in front of him, I'll have Alandi Mdiba. Then my front three will be Ribeiro Shalulile, and I'll start Zwan.
Okay. I have 10 of those players. I'll bring back Mawere, Debzane. If he's fit, I'll bring him back into the team. If not, obviously, Stumba will start. So, yeah. Prediction?
I think we'll win 1-0.
Okay. I think we'll win 2-0. I think we'll get 2 goals from this match, man. And, yeah, that's it, Masandawana, man. We hope you're having a great festive time with your loved ones, and as much as you're really busy getting casted, really pudding, 7 colors, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and help us grow this beautiful channel. The next time you will see us will be on Thursday, as we bring you the preview of our last game of the year, as we take on Polokwane City on Saturday evening at Loftus. Until then, Shap Masandawana. Should I say Shap Ndogish, because really true.
Hey, man.
Okay, Shap Ndogish.
Shap Masandawana. Merry Christmas, everyone, and be safe on the road and enjoy the rest of your holidays. Shap.
Shap.